So I came back home, no one cares about me. So I don't give a fuck.
Nobody talks about them. Not really. We see them every day, outside the shops, at the roadside, under the trees, young guys holding phones in their hands, going nowhere in particular. And if you ask most people what's going on, they will say the same thing. These boys are lazy. But what if that's the wrong diagnosis entirely? What if the laziness we are seeing is actually something else, something quieter, something a lot more serious? Because when I started looking at the numbers and talking to some of these guys directly, what I found wasn't laziness. It was a generation of young men who are trying very hard in a system that was never built to catch them. In this video, I'm going to talk about something Ghana doesn't like to talk about: the mental, economic, and social pressure quietly crushing young men in this country. We are going to look at where it comes from, why it's getting worse, because that's what this channel is about and what can actually be done about it. This isn't about blaming anyone, not the government, not the culture, not the men themselves. It's about understanding the problem clearly enough to start solving it. And by the end of this video, you are going to see a group of people you've probably overlooked very differently. Here's what made me start paying attention to this. Ghana's unemployment rate officially sits somewhere around 13 to 14%. But economists who study the informal economy will tell you that that number is almost meaningless. Because in Ghana, almost nobody is technically unemployed. They are hustling, they are doing something. The real number to watch is youth underemployment. Young people who are working, but not in anything stable, not in anything that pays enough, not in anything with a future. And among young men aged 18 to 35, the number is staggering. But here's what made me stop and really think. Depression and anxiety in Ghana are rising. Suicide rates, particularly among young men, have been quietly climbing. Mental health services in this country are so underfunded and stigmatized that most of the men struggling will never seek help, will never even name what they are feeling. So we have a generation of young men who are economically stuck, emotionally unequipped, and completely invisible in our national conversation. And the question that I couldn't shake was, how did we get here? There are 4 things happening at once, and like the flooding video, is the combination that makes it so hard to escape. Layer 1, the expectation gap. In Ghana, manhood has a very specific script. You are supposed to be the provider, the rock, the one who handles things. You finish school, you get a job, you take care of your family. That is the deal. But the problem with that script is that it was written for an economy that no longer exists. Your grandfather could leave school at 16, get a government job, build a life. Your father maybe had a harder time, but they were still part. Today's young man is entering an economy with fewer formal jobs, higher cost of living, more competition, and social expectation that hasn't changed at all. You have young men who are working incredibly hard, learning skills, doing gigs, grinding online, but because none of it looks like the traditional definition of success, they feel like failures. Their families sometimes treat them like failures, and over time, they start to believe it. That gap between what was promised and was available is quietly destroying self-worth across generations. Layer 2, the education trap. We told an entire generation that education was the key. Stay in school, get the certificate, the job will come. But here's what we didn't tell them. The Ghanaian university is producing graduates faster than the economy is producing graduate level jobs. Thousands of young men finish degrees sometimes taking 5, 6, 7 years only to come out and find there's nothing waiting for them. And the cruelest part, many of them took loans or their family sacrificed enormously to pay fees. So they are not just unemployed, they are unemployed and in debt, and carrying the guilt of feeling like they wasted everyone's investment in them. That's no laziness problem. It's a structural betrayal. Layer 3. Social media and the comparison trap. This one is new and is hitting young men in Ghana especially hard. For the first time in history, a man in Medina is watching in real time how his age mate in Toronto or London is living. The apartment, the car, the trips, the money, every single day. Now, some of that content is inspiring, but a lot of it is distorted. And for a young man who is already feeling behind, seeing the curated highlight reel of everyone else's success every hour of every day is psychologically devastating. It's not just envy, it's the internalization of a story that says everyone else is making it. What's wrong with me? And in a culture where men are not supposed to talk about feelings, that question feasts. It doesn't get spoken, it gets swallowed. And eventually, it starts to come out in other ways: anger, withdrawal, recklessness, or just quiet disappearing. Layer 4. There's no safety net and no language for pain. If a young Ghanaian man is struggling, economically, emotionally, mentally, where does he go? Formal therapy? No. There are fewer than 100 practicing practitioners in a country of 33 million people. And even if you could find one, the stigma attached to mental health in Ghana is brutal. You're a man, sort yourself out. Family, often the family is the source of the pressure. The aunt asking why you are not getting married. The father who doesn't understand why you haven't arrived yet. The mother who sacrificed so much is silently waiting. Ghanaian masculinity has not yet built the language for men to sit with each other and say, I'm not okay. The conversation doesn't happen, not openly, not safely. So these young men carry it alone, in silence and silence over long enough time, because something much darker. And this is why I said at the beginning, what looks like laziness is often something else entirely. It's the face that pain wears when it has no other place to go. Now, here's what I refuse to do. I refuse to end this video with just a problem, because when I was researching this, I kept finding pockets of something different. Youth mental health advocates doing extraordinary work with almost no resources. Community spaces where young men are actually really talking about pressure, about failure, about fear. Entrepreneurs rethinking about vocational training looks like. Coaches building brotherhood structures that fill the gap left by broken systems. And globally, there are countries that have faced this exact crisis. A lost generation of young men, and found real ways through it. Not perfect ways, but real ones. In this video, I want to show you what intervention actually looks like, what it would take at the policy level, the community level, the personal level, to start catching these young men before they fall too far. Because Ghana cannot afford to lose this generation, and I genuinely believe we won't. If you're a young man in Ghana watching this right now, I just want to say something directly to you. The system being broken is not a reflection of your worth. Struggling is a rigged game. Doesn't make you a failure, And whatever you are carrying right now, you don't have to carry it alone. If you are someone who loves a young man who seems to be disappearing, a son, a brother, a friend, maybe this video gives you a different lens. Maybe the conversation you've been putting off is the one he needs most. This channel exists because Ghana's problems deserve more than compliance. They deserve clarity. They deserve solutions. They deserve people willing to look directly at hard things. Is that the kind of content you want more of? Please subscribe, hit the bell, share the video with someone who needs to see this, and drop a comment below. I want to hear from you. Are you a young man navigating this? Have you watched someone close to you or close to you who's going through it? What do you think we are missing? The conversation starts here. I'll see you in the next one.